I'm Maud Shellhouse. I'm the founder and instructor of California School of Hypnotherapy. And I am here today with three of the successful graduates from California School of Hypnotherapy. The three people that I have with me today have their own thriving hypnotherapy businesses. And I thought, who better to bring in to answer some of the questions for this Q&A for California School of Hypnotherapy. So we are talking about, in particular, the Level 1 hypnotherapy course. And that course is designed to cover anything from teaching you everything that you need to know to do hypnotherapy for yourself, to perform self hypnosis, and to make things better in your life through the power of hypnosis, whether that is improving things that are already pretty good and you're moving through issues that have been troubling you, all the way to helping your friends and loved ones with hypnotherapy, um, your family members, your friends, to hypnotherapy in a career that you already have and love as an adjunct to what you're already doing in your career, and then all the way to making hypnotherapy your entire career. So whether you want to with hypnotherapy, this course will cover that. And this particular school is designed in a hybrid manner, which is a bit different than a lot of hypnotherapy schools, meaning that the students that take are able in person or online, or they're able to do a combination of both. Meaning that if somebody is local to the Sacramento area or surrounding areas and they want to come and take classes in person, that is available to them at California School of Hypnotherapy, which is kind of a rarity these days. Or if they like to travel, we have many students that travel from other places to attend in person. There is also the option, if you are farther away or you would prefer taking your classes from home, to attend live online. So this happens all at the same time. We combine the classroom with some students online and some students in person, and it really has worked beautifully over the years. So this course teaches everything from learning about the history of how hypnotherapy has worked over the ages. Hint, there's thousands of years of hypnotherapy in our history, um, to learning hypnotic inductions and a variety of hypnotherapy inductions so that students learn all kinds of different ways to put people into hypnosis. And even more importantly, what to do with people while they're in hypnosis. That's the most important part of hypnotherapy. Students are taught how to remove blocks and obstacles in the subconscious mind, how to explain how the subconscious and conscious mind are different and work together. And there are many, many different types of techniques that are taught for different personality types and different things that people are using hypnotherapy for. So whether or not you're working with paying clients or working with your loved ones, hypnotherapy can help with thousands and thousands of different roles. So with no further ado, I'd like to introduce those others that are on the panel today. First of all, we have Erin Carliner. And Erin has been a graduate of California School of Hypnotherapy going on for about 8 years now. And Erin works with me at Sacramento Hypnotherapy and has ever since he graduated from California School of Hypnotherapy very successfully. We also have Sandra Zambo of Wildflowers Hypnotherapy. Sandra's also been working for a few years as a hypnotherapist, and she's in Fair Oaks, California, in her beautiful office. You can see it there in the background. Um, and another longtime graduate of California School of Hypnotherapy with her own successful practice, Janine. And so happy to have all of you. Janine is in, and I have them here with me today because I think questions about their own experience at California School of Hypnotherapy for those of you that are considering. Um, so, one of the things that I pride myself in teaching styles around is that students at California School of Hypnotherapy are not just studying something online. They're not just watching videos. They're learning live, whether they're attending live online or in person. So they get hands-on experiences with all of the hypnotherapy techniques. And then they're able to re-watch all of the videos at any time so that they can go back through and take more notes. They can ask questions at any time during the course. There's an entire forum where there's a community built in online so that students are able to interact with each other. There are supplemental videos for the online trainings. There are PDFs that are also put together. There's recommended reading lists. There are recommended music selections for hypnotherapy. It's an extremely comprehensive program. And graduates, I would love to hear from you and really whoever would like to answer. What did you feel like helped you to be able to match your learning style? Like, did you prefer learning in person? Did you like to watch the videos later? Um, what did you appreciate about having all of those different modalities available to you?
Well, honestly, I think I was doing the program before it was online, so I couldn't tell you.
That's true. So, but you still went online for the PDFs and for the
Absolutely.
supplemental videos.
Yeah, very much.
Great, great.
I feel like I really enjoyed and I benefited most from absolutely having the curriculum online that I could look at online, then print them, print whatever, was the necessary stuff. And I could like add my notes, add into that, right? You can't always add your own take on what you learn from the experience if you're only online. So that was totally beneficial. But it wasn't just modules that you self-paced, right? And then didn't have like real-time conversations about what you learned about it or taking a deeper dive. Like, what does that mean? What do I do in these situations? Um, I, I feel like a self-paced module without that, like, I don't know that you would still get the answers to the questions about every situation is unique and what do you do? How do you help different people with different challenges? So to have that, I guess, collaboration of thoughts and ideas and discussing that and getting that real time feedback on what I was working on, extremely beneficial. I felt so supported.
I'm saying, and what you just shared brings up something else, which I think is very unique to California School of Hypnotherapy. The classes are kept intentionally small. There's a lot more time for discussion. There's a lot we felt and real time. Save up questions, send them in later, or even it's when the discussion can happen right then and there. Um, Sandra, I would like to hear anything that you appreciated about having smaller classes.
Oh my gosh. I was just, as you were talking, what came back to me is when I was, you know, looking to sign up for school, and one of the things that I personally experienced was that school was not always my favorite thing growing up. Traditional schools, in that realm. And so I was like, what I loved about California School of Hypnotherapy, was that it didn't feel intimidating to me. It felt like something that, oh, okay, this is something that I could be comfortable with, you know? So I love the intimate part of having it, being, like a very, a good number of students that, that were there, and in different chapters in our lives, and connecting. And again, the self-paced part was really appealing to me, but also doing school, the classes and lifetimes as well, like Janine was talking about, so that I could feel comfortable to kind of review the materials at my own pace, but still also interacting with everyone in such a supportive environment.
Thank you so much. And while we have you, Sandra, would you tell us what you feel like the most important things were that you learned at California School of Hypnotherapy that have helped you make a successful career? Uh,
Yeah. Really just, your mentorship, your being there for every step of the way, was so valuable. It wasn't just some generic school, and I didn't know who I was getting, and it was like, okay, here you go, here are the assignments, your homework, go on your way. But you're having your support and your mentorship, and you covering everything in class, so that after the school was done, when we were working with clients, we could draw back from that experience, and your love and your passion for this work, and also the school, it felt like, you know healing happened as well for me as a student. Every single class I walked away, healing different parts of myself. So that was an extra bonus that I think only you could provide, with the love that you have for the inner wisdom and this work.
oh,
So
that was so beautiful, Sandra. Thank you so much. I think that brings up something that people might not know to ask about hypnotherapy school, which is that at California School of Hypnotherapy, students are working so they're not only administering hypnotherapy techniques, but they're also receiving hypnotherapy. So going back to what Sandra and California School of Hypnotherapy actually get to reap the benefits of a lot of hypnotherapy as they go through the school. This is a very deep dive into hypnotherapy as opposed to something that is very short or an online weekend workshop, and that is very intentionally done. The subconscious mind is incredible, and it is such a finely tuned instrument, and we need to have utmost respect for the subconscious mind and the people that we work with. So there are very stringent rules applied to having great values when you work with somebody's subconscious mind. Uh, Erin, you had just a little bit of experience, and I certainly never want to name any names or say anything specific about other schools, but I do think it's important to talk a little bit about the differences for people that are considering different kinds of hypnotherapy training. Um, so rather than saying anything negative about
Mhm.
anything else, could you share anything that you felt was different about your experience about California School of Hypnotherapy?
I will try to avoid negativity. I'll do my best. Well, I really thought hypnotherapy taught here was just extremely adaptable, as opposed to, and that makes get a little negative, but the kind of the script for every situation. We learn the tools to apply to any situation. So we don't need to go, oh, I've never seen that. Where's my script? We go, oh, I've never seen that. Let me apply the things I know to that. And it works magically, to use an off word. Um, it's so much more than a simple rote memorization and saying the words. It's so much more becoming in tune with your own subconscious as well as the clients. It's so experiential in that matter. I got the sense from other schools that it was really kind of here's your scripts, take your tests, your certification. Whereas here, the emphasis is heavily on the experience of it and practicing it, which, like Sandra said, the class itself that first weekend, I remember it still was life changing. Getting to experience it, getting to learn it, getting to kind of see myself in a new way, and others in a new way. It just kind of opened up so many doors. It's no typical or just education you might expect at any other kind of institution.
Thank you so much, Erin. Um, this question is for all of you, and I'm going to start with Janine. What have you been able to achieve as a result of your training at California School of Hypnotherapy?
Uh, Gosh, way more than I ever anticipated. Um, I mean, I felt fully supported through the program. I feel like I learned way more than I thought I would learn. And I maybe for someone that's kind of wondering what we're talking about, like even that first weekend, how it changed all of us that first weekend, because we learn right from the beginning of how to put somebody in a state of hypnosis, right? How to bring them out, what to do when they're there, how to hold space. Like it's not this like sitting in textbooks for a long time or curriculum and then you get to it's learning it then. And I think it's important to share that when we're new and we're learning, we're practicing on our family and friends, like they're all different experiences. So to come and be able to talk about that and share and learn, really important, because the number of times that, I maybe you all agree, like you meet someone and you're kind of like, oh, they're here for smoking. Like, I know what I'm going to do, but as it turns out, maybe it's not really about the smoking and the whole um, reason they came in really changes, right? As they start to let go those attachments and they take just this like inward look at themselves.
Mm.
I think if you only have a script for smoking, how do you know how to do the ebbs and flows with them while their goals are changing, right? I just feel like that has been so just cool and important to me, just real world doing that. It's kind of like the old, it's not what you think it is, right? So I just think that's important. Like Aaron said, if you had a just pre-written scripts and that's all you had to work off of and not be taught that it probably really isn't just the cigarettes, there's more to it, then what would you do with that if you only had cigarette scripts, you know? So yeah, that's it's huge for me because I feel like the challenges and the shifts that have come up for people, like every session is kind of different and their goals just kind of change as they start to like fine tune what it is that they really want to achieve. Extremely beneficial. I feel like it's made me a better hypnotherapist.
Thank you so much, Janine, and so beautifully put. There's always something deeper than whatever that symptom is, right? And to learn what to do with that, that's even more important. Sandra, same question.
Um, Gosh, not only the skills have helped me become you know, a better hypnotherapist in my life, and I'm always learning. I'm always, it just it's just always going a level deeper, and I know you've said this a million times, but this work just never ceases to amaze me and fascinate me. Um, and loving just seeing what it can do for clients, being on the other end of it. And, in my own personal life, right, I found this, it changed my life long time ago. And but to be in the other end and see the clients, grow and flourish for themselves, it's just been so amazing. But it's also helped me in just my other life, in my personal life, right? Just doing this work. I've never been more in balance in my life. I've just my relationships, my connections are so much more deeper now. As a result, and I think about my life as before I became a hypnotherapist and after, and it's just the changes that I've seen again in my personal life, aside from this, have been amazing and mind blowing. So, so much. Like I can't even, I feel like I'm not even putting in the great words, but when I was like, when I started school, I was like, what took me so long, and I was like, why didn't I do this sooner, but I'm so glad. I thank my lucky stars every day that I went on this journey.
Much, Sandra, and how beautiful that it was so much bigger and deeper than you ever thought it would be. And I think that most people think when they first come to class. Thank you, thank you. Aaron, same question.
Well, beyond what was already said, I've done a lot of turning this work inward, doing a lot of self-hypnosis, a lot of exploration and experimentation internally. I'd done some meditation prior to that, but it's a whole different game. I have made so much more progress in my healing than I thought possible. I've healed things I didn't know needed to be healed. I have, like Sandra said, life before hypnotherapy and after it's night and day. Um, so grateful for just having the opportunity to work with you, Maud, and to have taken the class and to work as a hypnotherapist is a life-fulfilling situation that I've found in what you've made here. Yeah, again, words fail because this is such an experiential thing. You can only point to the possibility of what you might experience, but it's going to be so unique if you're open to the process. And like with anything, the more you embrace it, the more you'll get out of it. So,
Thank you so much, Aaron. And last question before I say bye to the panel and answer just a few more technical questions that were sent in. Aaron, what would you say, and this is a question for each of you, but beginning with Aaron, what would you say to somebody considering learning hypnotherapy?
well, I guess it always depends on what their motivations are, right? If you want to explore yourself, if you want to help your family or your friends, if you want a career. It really depends what you want, but anything you want from it, you can find it. It's not just hypnotherapy. It opens the doors to anything you want it to. If you have blocks in your life and you want to apply it to that, it can work. If you have family that needs help in any way you can imagine, it can help. If you just want to be more present in your life, if you want to have more awareness and knowledge and hopefully wisdom about how your mind and the minds of others are working, it can be applied to anything. So no matter where you're coming from, it can be beneficial. I highly recommend you jump in and see where you end up.
Oh, thank you so much, Aaron. Sandra, same question.
Yeah, just you know, do it. Like you know, it's gonna be, you know, you're gonna learn from the best, really. You know, the mentorship that you provide, Maud, is just absolutely amazing. And so if you're gonna do this, this is the best place to be. And you know, you're going to receive the best mentorship, and the connection that you're going to have with your inner wisdom is going to be something like no other, you know. So so yeah, I just, yeah, if you're thinking about it, if you're not sure, you know, please, you know, just you will not regret it. You'll say, oh, you'll be like me, like, what was I waiting for? So just do it.
Thank you so much, Sandra. How about you, Janine?
I feel like this course has created the ability to truly transform, make change, and reach the goals. There's real results, right? For the programs that are out there, there's lots of stuff that people are offering that you can buy pre-recorded hypnosis audios. Um, in this, in training, we learned that yes, that definitely create some balance, but everybody is an individual. So any clients that you're working on is an individual. Their blocks and obstacles are individual. So a pre-recorded audio that you'll continually listen to or record yourself and sell that, like, you're only halfway there, right? If you want to do the work and you want to really help someone achieve their goals and make real change, it needs to be not a cookie cutter script. Like it's working with that person on their individual blocks, even if they don't know what they are, right? Inner wisdom knows. We'll take care of that. But I feel like there's a lot of stuff that shows up recently that's buying those programs, right, to help people. But is it helping people, right? It's probably creating some peace and balance in their life, but they're not actually rising above and beyond whatever their challenges are. And I think that's super important because I I feel like people are making decisions based on money. And so if you find a program that's $400, but all you're doing is learning these recorded audios to continue on, you're not truly doing the work. You're not, it's not as beneficial. I think that's, that part of it has given me the opportunity to work with clients. Smoking, sure, but um, helping women through fertility treatments, just trying to overcome childhood traumas, leaving relationships that were completely unhealthy, learning self empowerment, learning to self love, self like. Um, it's you can go from smoking to helping someone with a terminal illness diagnosis and navigating what that looks like, right? And it's not a pre-made script. Like that's what you learn in class of how to deal with all those situations. Like that has been so powerful for me.
Thank you. And how, I mean, I know every single one of those examples that you just gave is a real life example. What
Hmm.
incredible things to be able to help people through.
Hmm.
Reminded me of one thing I wanted to add about the differences between this school and other schools is other schools seem to address the problem, which is
Mm.
the symptom. We address what's causing the problem. So if you just get rid of the coping mechanism or the surface issue, the underlying issue remains. We go back to the underlying issue so that surface problem never reemerges later. It's really addressing the foundation of the issue, not just what's showing on the surface. And that's where the transformation really happens. It's not tinkering, it's evolving.
Ah, so well put. Thank you so much. Please stay tuned. I'm going to answer some technical questions. I'm also going to tell you a little bit more about the history behind the school and the why. Um, for now, I want to say thank you so much to our panel of successful hypnotherapists from California School of Hypnotherapy. Erin, Sandra, Janine, thank you so much for being here today. Mwah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Maud.
So I didn't introduce myself very much. For those of you that don't know me, I have been a certified clinical hypnotherapist for 30 plus years now. And I started California School of Hypnotherapy um, 12 years ago after assisting my own teacher with hypnotherapy for several years prior to that. And I started the courses because I cannot imagine loving any career more than I love hypnotherapy. And I've been able to help thousands of people over the years, and I've been able to teach people to help thousands more people with this work. It is incredible work. I'm very passionate about it. And because of this, I'm very dedicated as an instructor. I really want people to spread this work in the world because it makes a huge difference in the world. So I wanted to add that in. Um, a few things that you should know about the course that we haven't talked about um, are that this course is designed to work with your life. So you don't have to stop doing everything else that you're doing if you're working or going to school already. We have a few intensives, meaning that the classes are taught 3 days in a row at the beginning of the course and at the end of the course. In between there, the courses are done on Saturdays, and it's not every Saturday of the month. And there are ways to check in through an online community. So you are able to ask questions anytime that you have them. You're able to interact with your cohorts during the class, and you are able to re-watch any of the live trainings at any time. So if you do need to miss part of class, you're able to re-watch and submit questions. So there's always something as a backup. There's always reinforcement for the learning. And there are many different ways to learn that are embedded in this course, meaning that some people are visual learners, some people are more hands-on, kinesthetic, some people are audio learners, and all of these learning styles are honored at California School of Hypnotherapy so that you have a very broad and deep understanding of the work as you go through and after you graduate. Um, I just want to double check to make sure that the questions that were submitted were all answered. Um, one of them was, will there be someone to ask questions to in between classes? Absolutely, there are. You can ask me questions at any time. I might not be able to always answer the phone, but I will call you back if we need to have a phone conversation about your questions. And you can always email me and we can go back and forth like that as well. And there's also a whole forum just for discussion, sharing successes and challenges as you go through the courses, and answering questions back and forth with cohorts as well. Um, there's also a question that was sent in about how often there are tests. So there are modules throughout the course, and at the end of every module, there's a quiz. And at the very end of the course, there is a final exam. And students that move through levels 1 and levels 2 are also eligible, as long as they meet all of the requirements, to take the exam for certification for the designation of clinical hypnotherapist from the American Council of Hypnotist Examiners. So students that want to achieve that certification can also take that exam through the California School of Hypnotherapy in class, and submit their applications for certification. So 2 larger exams at the end, smaller quizzes along the way. I would love to answer other questions that you have. We will also be having one more Q&A before registration is over for California School of Hypnotherapy Level 1. So I will send out the information for that as well. I hope you've enjoyed this Q&A, and again, please ask any follow-up questions.